All right, we are page 3 of the listing agreement, ER. Line 1, section 7, it says agency relationship. This kind of explains your relationship as the agent. Broker warrants that he holds a current valid Nevada real estate license. Broker shall act as the agent of the seller and may also assign or designate a licensee of the broker, which is you, who shall act as a representative of the seller in any resulting transaction. Depending upon the circumstances, it may be necessary or appropriate for the designated licensee to act as agents for both seller and buyer, exchange parties, or one or more additional parties. If applicable, broker and the designated licensee shall disclose to seller any election to act as an agent representing more than one party and obtain the written consent to act form signed by all parties to the transaction. So what this is describing, and it's very important, is there is something called licensee acting for both parties in Nevada, and that is where you could be the listing agent, and then buyers come by themselves and say, hey, I'd like to buy that property. Can you represent us as our agent as well? That is legal. You can do that in Nevada. You can represent the seller and you can represent the buyer at the same time.
Commonly referred to as dual agency.
Dual agency, yes.
If you've heard the term dual agency, that's what Matt's describing.
Exactly. Now, it is not a conflict of interest as long as you get the consent to act form signed. And that form, we will do another video on that, but what that explains is the broker, Josh Galindo, is assigning the same agent or two agents in the same brokerage. So if you do a deal with another Galindo Group agent, you need to get the consent to act form signed because Josh is the broker for both parties. There's one person seeing both sides, having access to all the documents on both sides. But this consent to act form notifies the parties, the buyer and the seller, that the same agent or the same broker will be representing both sides. You get that signed and you're good to go. Now, section C, broker may also have licensees in its company who are agents of the buyer who may show and negotiate an offer to purchase seller's property. I think this is exactly what I was just describing. In this event, licensees who represent the buyer will only represent the buyer in the transaction with all duties owed to the buyer and not the seller. This, therefore, does not require a consent to act form.
That's beautiful. I'm going to go into one more thing here. It's important to understand the relationship that is at play when you are an agent here at Galindo Group Real Estate. Some of this stuff is maybe newer agent stuff, but it's important to conversate about it. I am the broker. That means that every single transaction that goes through this brokerage belongs to Josh Galindo, the designated licensed broker for Galindo Group Real Estate. Now, obviously, that is a unobtainable task for one person, and that's where the brokerage model was built. I have the authority to designate a licensee in the brokerage to conduct all of the business on my behalf for that transaction. That is your role. You are the designated licensee, okay? I'm the broker, the transaction's technically with me, and then you're the designated licensee. I think it's important to communicate that relationship. Thanks for that.
Yep.